When one hears the word goblin, it may conjure up an image of a mischievous imp-like creature with a penchant for trickery, a name evoked to keep small children in their beds at night. But what if I was to tell you there is another sort of goblin, one with a mouthful of sharp teeth and the dead black eyes of a shark? That they were once human like you or I, but twisted into their terrible forms by fell magic and sent with unwavering obedience to punish and devour those they once loved.
The Knights of the Ship Actual Play Podcast presents Zweihander, Feast of Goblyns.
During the night, you become aware of some motion in the alley next to this building. But because of the height of the ventilation, it makes it really hard to see. Though you might be able to prop someone up to have a look.
Are you frail or what?
I think I'm sort of lightly built.
You're definitely not lifting me up.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why I didn't even propose to lift you up, Joan.
I'm slender.
Me and Joan prop you up to listen to what's being said.
Okay, I do that.
I mean, I suppose you could just stand on Joan.
Yeah, okay. They prop you up, and looking outside, the voices they're just out of view. You can't see them. The people who are talking, but the woman's voice is absolutely charming in terms of its the melodiousness of it. A very fine voice, and you'd probably think that this person would gain a lot of social validity from having such a lovely voice. Soon the conversation ends as mysteriously as it began, and from across the alley you do see this. A slender young woman steps from a gap between two buildings and begins cautiously walking down the alley. She wears a hooded cloak but keeps it pulled up to hide her face.
So I'm presuming this is the woman with the beautiful voice?
Yeah, it seems so.
Do I recognise the voice at all? And now that I've seen her, even though she's covered up, do I recognise the body at all?
Do you have some sort of skill to do with scrutinise or...
Yeah, I think I have scrutinise. I do have scrutinise.
Okay, make me a roll. Make that routine.
If I have the skill, then what does that do to the percentage?
Plus 10.
Okay, cool. 19 underneath 71 is pretty good, I think. So, no, 61. But yeah, I did it.
That's very good. And it was routine, so it would have been 71.
Okay, cool.
An extra plus 10.
Yeah.
One thing you notice about her is that the way she walks, she looks nervous or frightened. She's constantly looking behind her, and it doesn't appear to be any sign of anyone else. It's kind of incongruent with this lovely conversation she was just having, and then she's walking. Suddenly, from out of the darkness, a harsh voice breaks the silence of the night. "You have defied me for the last time, Acriol." Something about the cruelty to the voice. It could make the hair stand upon the back of your neck. And as you watch, like there's a mist or a fog that seems to waft into the alleyway. Smells like a swamp.
I'm sort of doing a whispering play-by-play to these two like who are holding me up or whatever.
Swamp smells bad.
The smell is more refreshing, actually, for those in jail.
These are powerful creatures here.
Did either of you wish to take any action at this stage?
I think we'll be quiet.
Okay, you hold your position. Slowly, Baius, you see a man flanked by two wolves the size of ponies sweep into view. There seems to be a gleam in his eye, akin to a hunger, and the wolves begin to leer at the beautiful young woman. And then, dramatically, he steps between your vantage of the woman, and so you're just looking sort of at the back of his head. Then you see him point at the girl, and his arm comes up, and it's holding a whip, and he lashes out at her, piercing the air with a... and she screams in pain and sobs, no, please don't. Throughout this ordeal, he just whips her. The man releases a litany of, a stream of hissing words at this woman who he called Actriel. And although the majority of us lost under her screams and protests, you distinctly pick out the words change and vampire. As the excitement dies down, there is a change in the atmosphere as this dark and ominous stranger sweeps out of the alley, and the oppressive presence seems to have left the area. With a faint moan of exhaustion and pain, Actriel collapses to her knees and begins sobbing in a mire of obvious misery. It's as though she is oblivious to her surroundings at this stage.
Is she doing anything? She just lying there?
She's sobbing.
And I'm quite far away, aren't I?
No, you're
just above her. Are you okay?
Immediately she sort of puts her hands up and you
I'm
can see the scars where she's been, sort of deflection wounds.
Good point. You're not okay. I can't really help you, but I saw that terrible situation. I'd like to help you.
As she sort of looks around and then finally spies you. And it is at that moment that her hood falls back, revealing a very beautiful young woman. Strikingly, her hair is long and wavy with the dark colour of a raven, and her eyes are soft. Beneath her cloak, she's wearing a white blouse under a short sleeveless open jacket.
Steady on, he's a married man.
of a gold brocade.
I'd really like to help you, but I'm feeling a little guilty at the same time.
The tears stream down her cheeks, but she seems to have suffered no lasting damage, at least to mar her beautiful face.
Tell her she should dump him. He sounds like a terrible man.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't hang out with him anymore.
Oh yes, we are due to be married.
Oh yeah,
poison his
that's
dinner?
probably a bad idea.
I probably deserved it. He wants an obedient wife, and this is what he does when I go against his wishes.
What did you do to this time?
It isn't your fault, sweetheart.
Look, he's a wandering bard and woodsman of these parts. He's been seeking my hand in marriage, and as you can see, has a violent temper and is extremely possessive.
A bard with a voice like that?
Yes, we met. He can be extremely charming, but.
Also
then,
not that charming.
But then he sees me talking to perhaps another man, or sees things that you might think that I'm looking at them, and the tension builds, and then there's this, it almost seems like a cycle where then he rages and then this happens, and then I'll reject him, and that seems to make, then he'll threaten harm upon myself or people I'm related to.
Yeah.
And then he says, look, he's really sorry and he'd never do it again. And she sort of just unloads all this personal information.
Well, we'd really, there's a group of us here, including a young boy with a dog, who would like to help you, but you'll have to help us to get out of these cells. Is that something you could do?
I might be able to. She's sort of not in the place to really think about problem solving at the moment. And she
we can just, you can just sit there and I'll stand up here and we can talk for a while if you like.
I can help you poison him.
I think he might be a little bit beyond poisonable. He was flanked by pony-sized wolves. There was the mist thing, all of that. It's just a suspicion.
You're absolutely right, and you're such a fabulous listener as well.
He's married.
Oh, that's okay. No, my mistake. No, I'm not going there. For you see, I've fallen out of love with him, this woodsman, and in fact, my heart is really pledged to another who I met as part of my convalescence from his harsh
abuse.
ways. Abuse, yeah. yes. You say it how it is. Often many women will suffer from this sort of treatment and are expected to. It's a hidden problem. Yes. Oh, when I was convalescing in the province of Gundarak, I met a lovely man. His name is Dr. Dominani, and he cures others of their ills, and he doesn't ask anything of them.
My shoulder's starting to hurt.
Well, he's not that sort of doctor.
Am I standing on a ledge or something, or are they literally physically holding me up? Okay, right. Okay.
That's my shoulders hurting.
I'd really like to continue this conversation, but I'm standing on a couple of old women to be able to talk to you.
Perhaps you can get down and I can speak outside to your window.
Okay, sure. Let's do that.
For the other party members in the stinking
Chamber.
there is a conversation going on, and your sleep would be fitful at best.
I'm going to go home.
So it starts coming into your consciousness, so you can feel free to join.
I will do so
Anytime you want. She's, like this Dr. Dominani, he is so handsome and he's so gentle. And
he sounds great.
Reminds me of my 5th husband.
I've been wanting, I just don't know, but he's so well off. And me, I'm not dirt poor as the church mouse, but, we have different social rankings, and I just don't know what to do. If only there was some knights in shining armour, there's mythical ones who could be my fairy godmother.
I mean,
Raphe won't let me wear the armour.
We have some old padded armour in a bag. Is that close enough?
Well, are you really sincere in perhaps helping me with my plight?
Yes, I'm definitely sincere. I have my own reasons for wanting to help you, as well as the injustice that you've suffered.
Well, then you should. Well, if you're able to do this for me, you will be the guest of honor at my wedding.
Thanks.
Yeah,
what do I have to wear?
You've lifted her spirits. Oh, whatever you like, you're the guest of honor. But we'll make sure that you'd wear the finest cloths cut across the land.
That causes me some anxiety with weddings.
Ah, yes. Well, we could the fashions of Dementaloo, perhaps, or Richemelu, something from the islands.
Yep, that all sounds good.
What else would you like? I would do anything to make this happen, and I'm sure the good doctor would too. And I have a means in which I could elevate my social status. An heirloom that was lost to my family. If that was able to be retrieved, then that would hold me in good stead. That it would be proof of my lineage.
And does the man with the pony wolves, does he have a name?
Oh, yes, Mark.
Okay. Mark.
Mark sounds like my 3rd husband.
Is he holding the heirloom?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know anything about it. Like he was lovely, and when he made up after this sort of abuse, as you say, then he would say he'd never do it again, and
that's what they all say.
Yes, it took me some time to realise this. He'd buy me things, and then he'd become secure and write poetry about me, and then we'd have a drink and we'd be out somewhere, and he'd say, "Are you looking at that man?" And then it would all start over again. And when you're young and in love, you do forgive their flaws. But yes, you're right.
Rat poison in his dinner.
Well, I don't think he has powerful friends as well. It would be better if I was just able to go under the patronage of a stronger, gentler man.
Well, I'm sure that we could help you.
That is, what is your name?
Baius. Pius.
Baius. I must say, you are a ray of light cutting through the darkness. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, you can just call me Baius. That's what most people do.
Very, very well, Baius. This is the wandering fortune teller. She cast the bones for me, and she said, "Do not become too demoralized. There is hope out there." And you kind of at the time you think, there is. That's what they do. They give you a good feeling message. But this is actually coming true. And since then, I've also worked out the location of this crown or tiara that you could retrieve for me. It's a place that is probably fraught with danger, and as you can see, one as fragile as myself would have no hope of surviving these perils.
Don't sell yourself short. You look pretty strong.
Well, thank you. Yes, I feel like I feel like I'm growing stronger. I'm getting back to that independent person I was before all this happened. I feel like the strings are being drawn together. While you've been talking, a low fog has crept into the alley again, damp and cold. Looking about, almost nervously, Acriel smiles and says, the mists are growing thick and I'd best be off the streets. I bid you farewell, but can you meet me in Scald, the old Katarkan Inn, in 7 days?
Yes. Hopefully we'll be out of these cells by 7 days.
I'll see if I can. I know people.
Okay.
I'll see if we can get you out earlier.
Great.
And 7 days will also give me more time to pinpoint the location of this tiara. And with
See you soon then.
There is a spring and a skip to her step as she exits, leaving you again in your dismal surroundings.
Hey everybody, it's Dave here. I'm just interrupting for a little bit of self-promotion. Firstly, I just wanted to let everyone listening to us through our SoundCloud page know that the show's also available via iTunes and Stitcher if those are the services you prefer. Just head to the iTunes or Stitcher homepage and search for Knights of the Shed. If you do listen to the show via iTunes or Stitcher, we'd love it if you'd leave a rating and a review because those can really help us to boost the show's visibility. We'd love to hear from you in the comments on SoundCloud too. I know our schedule has been a bit erratic at times, but we're currently releasing an episode every 2 weeks, usually on a Saturday evening or afternoon Australian time. If you want to keep up to date with when the new episodes are released, you can follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @KnightsShed, NIGHTSSHED. Finally, I just wanted to let everyone know that the first adventure of our Zweihander campaign, Escape the Noose, is now available as a module for the Zweihander RPG. You can get the module via DriveThruRPG and the Grim Perilous Library for $3.99 US or about $6 dues. Just search for Escape the Noose on DriveThruRPG.com. Thanks, guys. Now back to the show.
So you translated all that conversation for us.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could pretty much hear it. That was the idea, wasn't it? That everyone could hear what was going
their
on.
language isn't as
Of course.
advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's a vampire?
I know a little bit from my research. A vampire, a supernatural creature that they're very dangerous.
Worse than that wolf guy thing.
Oh yeah, worse than the wolf guy thing, yeah. This was a guy with some large wolves.
But were those wolves also guys?
Probably. Guys with wolf guys. It's the alternative title for this adventure.
At least we're starting to make friends in this place, but we're still stuck here.
Raphe, would you be receptive to D3 corruption for interfering with local police in terms of threatening them? And what do you think about that?
They were trying to abuse their authority though.
Isn't it part of the culture that they have this?
But it's not my
abuse?
culture, so why would
That's true.
Why would I be? At least from my perspective, I was not breaking any rules. And I didn't actually hurt them.
No. Okay.
Well, they didn't seem too put out by a gun to the head either.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Borderline. Well, you return to your nocturnal limbo, and before too long, the sun is up, the birds are singing, and the day is rainy. After a time, you hear movement, probably from the room you first entered before you entered the cell area. And
Overnight, Raphe takes off the armour and uniform and stashes it if he's going to sleep.
okay. And there's you hear, I guess this is the moment you've been waiting for the ambush. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear the plank lifted from the oak door, and they're open, and there's sort of a lot more light coming into the corridor, and you hear some muttering, and yep, right, okay, Karis, if you operate the winches, where are they? There's a bit of that backwards and forwards talk, and then there's a guard carrying 2 sort of buckets. It's really quite in contrast to where you can smell these lovely odors of bacon and eggs and fresh bread and tea. Yep, okay. And then the door closes and he starts trudging up the corridor. Then the portcullis are lifted, and he sort of moves past your cell doors. He doesn't know you're there. Moving towards the next portcullis.
Run out behind him and try and get through the portcullis.
We're out of there.
So you sort of run through. This is going to be a very easy.
I want to grab one of the buckets as we go through.
This will be easy. You've got the surprise. Then there's I think it's a fail forward test they call it. So this is where you'll succeed. However, there's a small chance that something may go wrong.
What are we testing?
So it's a coordination test. You can have plus 20 to your coordination skill.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 94.
Got you bet. I rolled a 96.
I'm going to take the pole arm and just prop it under where the portal comes down, so this sort of like it can't close.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, on the way out, you guys have that awkward trying to coordinate who goes first moment.
No, you.
Go through the doors.
And plus the bloody dog gets in the way as well, tripping everyone up. But you manage to, sprawl through under the portcullis. Luckily, with your pole cleaver there, the portcullis goes to go down. It's stopped, allowing them to escape before it starts bending under the weight. And you hear all this grinding of metal down below under the floor and swearing. And then the whole thing snaps and you hear a scream. The staff of the pole cleaver breaks eventually, and there's all this and the other portcullis goes up very quickly, and the guard sort of turns around saying, "Hey, you, bring that back. That's your breakfast."
We're taking it to go. Thank you.
Garrus, they're escaping. And so there you are, out the door and into the street.
Put the other pole arm, jam it down into
We'll close the door. Has it sort of got like anything we can sort of jam it closed by putting the pole on?
The oak door?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a...
It's got a bar already. What about the exterior door?
You jam down the portcullis and put the pole arm against the roof so it can't open.
No, we want to keep the guy downstairs away from us as well.
I think we just do the bolt.
Yeah, okay.
So one thing you have in your favour is that it was a dark, dark night, and the people they had a bit of a look at you, and I guess some of you sounded strange, but they don't have a great profile on you in terms of what you look like and who you are. They didn't ask you your names, did they?
No.
So anyway, out the door you are. Where to next?
Skull.
Yeah,
We'll go
get the
Scald.
horse and head to Scald, yeah.
I don't think we're going to get horses. Oh,
My
yeah, you got
horse.
a horse, yeah.
How
Good
far is it? How many days travel?
A day.
A day. Okay. Well, we've got some time. But we should probably get out of town if they're going to be looking for us.
What's in the bucket? Is it provisions for a day?
Breakfast.
Got to go back to the inn and get all of our stuff. And probably get some more provisions, and Baius could get stuff more easily.
With some money.
Are we planning to leave straight away, or what's our...
It makes sense since we've just escaped from prison.
All right.
Yeah, it would be wise.
I will give Joan the husky armor.
The corpulent.
Corpulent armor, sorry. I'll keep the husky armor and the uniforms. And I ask if you guys can grab my stuff and Clotilda, and we'll meet somewhere. But I've got to do something before we go.
Do you want some company?
No, thank you.
So I'll just go around the table. Tell me where you're going. Pybus. Bias.
Baius, Pybus, Pygus. Well, I presume we're going to need some provisions for travelling. So I'm going to accept requests and money in order to...
Might also need to tell your wife that you're going out of town.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, like, my wife's away or is she back or...
She usually comes back at just before dawn, and you're outside during the dawn, and you don't like it much.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go back home to see her.
Okay. Joan,
I'm going back to the inn.
gathering your belongings.
How much money do you reckon you're going to need to get supplies?
That question.
So rations, you have to look those up at the shop. Bias, you can have just in your house, you can have D6 divided by 2 rations.
Well, 5, so 3.
You got 3 days rations there that you can take if you wish.
Is my wife there?
Yes.
Darling.
Yes.
How was your time?
Very successful. Very good. The moon was almost full and it made for good hunting.
Yes. By my count, it'll be full in 2 days.
Yes, correct. Something I am rubbing off on you, aren't I?
I hope so. Well, I've just fallen in with this group of scoundrels who I knew from before, and we somehow managed to get into a battle with a loup garou.
Really?
Yes, and then the guards decided that they should imprison us in case we were infected out of some sort of misplaced...
How terrible. Are you okay?
Yes, but we need to leave town. Do you want to come to Scald with this group? Or I think there might be some vampire involved.
Oh, to scold.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, she says, look what I've got in the pantry.
Yeah, I know. It's full of blood.
No, but have another look. Look what I managed to hunt down last night. And
Okay.
you sort of you have a look in, and there's a huge boar that she's taken down.
Has the pantry gotten bigger than it used to be? I think it's gotten bigger.
It in the secret locker in the meat cupboard section.
Cool.
Well, there's hanging a huge boar. I need to butcher this, and she just lists through all the jobs, the domestic jobs to. And this is and I need to can finish draining it of its blood, and we can make sausage out of blood sausage.
And of course, you need to dress it and clean it and all of that stuff.
And I think I've found a run where they are.
So you've got sort of hunting boar mind going on right now. It's like a single track.
And I think it'll be good for you to go on and I can see a glint of that old Baius there was. You've sort of been in here, not wanting to leave the house. I've been worried about you. I think it'll be good for you. You go out and find your smile again.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you approve, and I will miss you, but I think it's something I need to do as well.
Yes, especially, and I kind of assume that you relay most. Is there anything about what happened last night that you don't tell her about?
Probably gloss over the extreme beauty and charm of the damsel in distress just a little bit.
A wise move. But her ears prick up at the word
vampire,
the V word. Yeah. And, it's like this could be the next big break. You need to do this. I know I should be there for you, but
there's pigs to be eaten. And stuff.
someone's got to keep the home fires burning. And I know that's a very...
Speaking of which... I'm going to take all the food since you've got this big pig.
Oh, well, you can take some of this with you.
Okay.
And you can get another D6 divided by 2 rations out of it.
That's another 5, so 6 rations altogether.
Honey, last night we saw this fat chick. Well, I think it was a chick. Anyway, we're going to follow her to another town.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about you. I've seen those other 2 women who you said you knew, and I'm not threatened at all.
Well, I'll come clean. So she was very beautiful, but I did tell her I was married, and I'm more actually interested in the vampire, as you know.
She had to think for a moment. There is a flash of jealousy in her eyes at the mention of a beautiful woman. However, you're traveling with those 2 old battle axes.
Yeah.
They have a certain level of tenaciousness about them that I noticed. They were trying to get into our pantry. Push, having to push back, put in the boundaries with them. But I think if you put a foot wrong with this beautiful woman, as you say, I mean, by human standards, of course, I think I'll know about it. And then that's you done. Look, I know. We know. We have a plan. You wouldn't throw that away on maybe how old are you now?
Too old. Throw
away another 20 years life on a wretch like that, or you can have this eternal.
Yes, dear, I know.
Anyway, she plays the plays the territory between not appearing too desperate and being a bit perhaps jealous, but cool jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's see how well you manage to reassure her.
Okay.
So what strategy will you use?
I don't have. I have rumor, so I could make up some lies. That seems like a bad thing to do.
You'd charm her.
I can't. Well, I don't have charm. I have bargain.
It's just going to be like one of that thing where you make a list and she makes a list of the people, the celebrities that it's okay to.
Yeah. Well, I have navigation.
Navigate your way around
Yeah.
the conversation.
And I also have survival.
Definitely survival.
I think it's going to have to be charm without. I could go with bargain.
Have you got warfare?
No. Nor do I have awareness. So
That's how you got in this conversation.
okay, so I'm going to try bargain. And my argument is basically going to be, of course, I want to be with you. We've been working towards my immortality for a while now, and now we've got our first good lead in a while. So, of course, I'm going to follow it, regardless of whether this woman is beautiful or not. You've got nothing to worry about.
So she says, "This is really all about me, isn't it?"
Well, it's about us, darling.
Yeah, which is me. So make your roll to see how convincing you are. That's a night. You can have a bonus to that too.
How much bonus are you giving me?
Well, I guess I was thinking this would be an arduous. No, I'll make it. I was thinking routine because it was, it was very. You thought out
Is
the
routine
argument.
10 or 20?
10.
I just failed then. So I've got 43 plus 10 for bargain is 53.
Critical fail as well.
So I got 66, which is 3 away from passing. I was on 63, this close.
You're doing so well. I mean, you can use a fortune point to roll again. If you can somehow steer it away, it's like the Titanic heading towards the iceberg.
Yeah, it seems a pretty important.
Seem like you're doing really well, and then
Yeah. Okay, I'll spend is this a pool that we all draw from?
Yeah.
Is everyone okay with me doing this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, everyone gets one each, and then there's one spare.
Much worse. Well, it's not a critical fail. It's a 92.
Okay. I was going to do this anyway, but she's going to scrutinize to see how earnest you were. She wants to believe, and she does so. So even though there are stumbling blocks, you've got a positive audience who wants to.
She's right. I'm tempted, but I'm still loyal.
Anyway, I guess you have it's still a bit awkward, but it's fine.
Yeah. I give her an awkward kiss on the lips, but it sort of becomes a kiss on the cheek, grab the food, and I run.
You're out of there.
Yep.
Okay, out into the light.
Oh yeah, shit. Wearing a big cloak.
Okay. Joan, in?
Yep.
Okay, you're getting your belongings. Anything else at the inn?
I'm gonna go down to the kitchen and see if I can get some provisions.
Mm-hmm. How?
Just by sporadically communicating with the chef woman, telling her that trying to tell her that I'm going to Scald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like,
provisions, rations, food. I point around to loaves of bread and stuff, and
so you drop hints that you want some food.
Yeah.
Okay, make a some sort of. How are you going to? We've been dropping hints and trying to ingratiate yourself so that to provide charity. How are you going to do this?
I'm going to try and bargain with her.
Yeah, what's in it for me?
Pull out what little money I have.
Which is?
I think I have 24 coppers. I didn't write it down last time, but when I was yodeling, didn't people throw some money my way?
If they did, it'd be on your character sheet.
Yeah, I left another portion of my character sheet at home.
It's not just me. Awesome.
Yeah, you kept that quiet.
Yeah.
Well, you've got that money somewhere. It's just slightly misplaced for the moment.
Might have fallen out of your pocket during the fight with the werewolf.
Could be in your backpack down the bottom.
If she's not willing to give over some food, I'll go out and to the market and start yodeling, trying to busk a little bit.
No, we don't need any of that. Here you go. She puts together a parcel for you, because you can get a hot meal fit for the burger for 8 bronze pennies. So you can buy some rations. So just some preserved, ploughman's lunch sort of in. Throw in a couple of radishes and carrots and the lettuce. Yeah, there's some. She says, yes, we've got some older foodstuffs that you can have. We were just thinking about feeding it to the rabbits and we've got one thing that is really abundant here are the beets. So lovely big beetroots. And they're very cheap. So she says, oh, and she gets together, roll a d6 and divide it by 2.
2.
She manages to forage a good day's rations for you. And then she's got some more here. Roll another d6.
That's a 6.
Okay, she's got another 3 days rations, but you're going to have to pay for them.
How much?
11 pennies.
Done.
So you've got 4 days rations.
Excellent.
Okay, Marsha, where are you?
I don't really know how many rations we've got at the moment, so I'm probably going to go buy some rations as well.
Mm-hmm. How many rations would you like to buy?
Well, I'll buy one for each person, so I'll buy 5 rations.
5 rations?
6. Ilsa.
Oh. During the night, Ilsa she didn't, like when you were wandering through the markets, she wandered off and she's too unwell to travel. She had a night of revelry. Yeah, and she's made some friends.
All right.
Some teenage friends.
Well, I'll get
her
5
age.
rations. How much does that cost me?
It'd be 24 bronze pennies.
Then I head back to the inn.
Yeah, grab your belongings. Raphe,
I want to go to the, whatever you've dubbed the seedy pub.
the shady inn.
Shady Inn, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay. Sort of more of a bar,
Mm.
if I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's sort of there's someone, when you get there, they're like on the doorstep with a brush and a bucket of water, scrubbing blood out of the floorboards.
I asked after my contact.
Oh, okay. Yeah, take a seat. After some time, while you're there, you're offered a pipe of some sort of very aromatic tobacco and different. Would you like to buy a drink or anything like that while you wait?
Are they insisting I buy a drink?
Well,
I better have one out of politeness.
It's really up to you.
How much is a drink?
Well, what sort of drink would you like? She goes to the bar and she reels off some of the different things you can have. Would you like an ale or an ale by the rundlet?
How much is an ale?
An ale by the cup's 3 bronze pennies.
I'll buy one for me and one for my contact.
Oh, that's nice. You sure you like mulled wine by the goblet or
I'm good.
you've
I'm
got
good
this
with ale.
rum by the Roma? No?
I'm quite happy, thank you.
I would have picked you for a brandy drinker.
Well, sometimes, but not today.
You look like a man of means. It's only three silver.
Yes, well, perhaps another time.
Oh, well, so you've got your cup of ale too, and she goes back to scrubbing the floor. It's quite a large patch of blood. Looks like there'd been a bit of revelry last night. Maybe
Elsa.
Yeah, maybe Elsa was there. And your contact comes in looking like he'd slept in his clothes. Rubs his eyes, goes over to the bucket of bloody water and sort of snorts into it and washes his face a little bit just to freshen up.
I
Oh,
hand him an ale.
he salutes you, muttering something about hair of the dog.
Well, I've just come to see you. I may need to lie low for a little while. You know how these things go. But I brought something. I hope maybe you would know someone it's useful to.
Yeah, I'm always interested. Many things are useful.
Just open the top of the pack and show the guard uniforms.
Yeah, that could come in handy. Very handy, in fact. We do have. Yeah, it'll save calling in favours if we need one of those down the track.
Someone might need to do some repairs on one of them, but you know how these things go.
But yes, I see. I guess, was it? Will people be coming looking for this? Has something happened to somebody? I guess I'll find out. Less questions, the better.
Yes, well, I don't think they'll come looking. I don't think they'll come asking you.
Yeah. Which suit do you have? Is it the intact one or the one where there was a bit of?
I've got both uniforms. I've only got one set of armor.
Yeah. All right. Well, he begins sort of haggling over the price. Do you have bargain?
I do.
Right. So that will, if you make a check, there is a bargain will allow you to, the skill check, I think it'll give you some immediate bonus.
That's a success, assuming that there's no change to the difficulty.
Yep. So you successfully fence this, and you get more for selling it. What's your fellowship bonus?
4.
And what did you roll?
57.
So, if your fellowship bonus falls between 7 to 12, you can resell at 70% of the listed price.
Quilted armor's worth 11 gold coins.
Yeah, you got money.
So what's that, about 7?
7 gold, 7 silver.
All right, and what are the guard uniforms worth anything, or are they just to ingratiate myself with him?
Yeah, just have to see how much clothes cost. Military attire, 8 gold.
Is that 8 combined?
Probably convert it to silver. What's that? 80 silver.
It's 20 silver per gold.
Oh well, you can.
So what was it? So it's 8 gold.
Hmm.
That's 160 silver. So it's 5 gold and
And you can have a bit more silver from that other transaction, and an extra 7.
now I'm rich.
And young Helmut.
He's going to go back to the night market, despite the fact it's day, in desperation to try and get some more ice cream.
It's they've only got the remnants of a jar of ice cream that's kind of melted.
That'll do. In the street food.
You can have it for
I've got to pay for it. Come on.
a bronze penny or 2.
What if I was to get my dog to do some tricks for you?
Oh, make a you seem so defeated. Make a puss in boots eyes roll. There's these different strategies: bargain, charm, guile, interrogation, intimidate. There's not one for being pathetic. Yeah, you might need to go charming. Try and charm. Make a charm roll.
No. Didn't even get the melty ice cream.
Make a roll for your dog.
No, not quite.
She waves you off.
Oh,
Go away. Come back again with money this time, you little rapscallion, and leave your dog at home.
that's it for me.
Where to next, Helmut?
I'll go and find the others.
Back at the inn.
Oh, yeah, I think we were meeting at the inn, were we?
So, you all converge at the inn unless there's any other shopping anyone wishes to do.
Do we need any other supplies for our travels?
Weapons, we've got food, no ice cream.
Blankets or something.
It's only a day, wasn't it?
Right, it's raining, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll buy an umbrella.
It is raining today, and it's sort of intermittent showers.
I'm going to get myself a wet weather cloak then. If I can afford one.
Get me one too.
You're not there.
I have a cloak, I think, that I'm already covering myself up
Yeah,
with.
I've got a survival cloak or something. Wilderness cloak.
A wilderness cloak will cost you 2 gold coins.
Yeah, fat chance of me buying you one of them.
About just a normal cloak.
It's like a about town cloak.
Something something warm.
Yeah, a gold coin.
Gold coin. Yeah, definitely out of my price range.
Or you can get a second-hand cloak for 7 silver stags, are they? What's the silver money called?
Shillings, I think.
Shillings. Yes, you're right. So, do you wish to buy a second-hand about town cloak for 7 shillings?
No, thank you. I don't think I have enough.
I buy 3.
You buy 3. You don't have the bargain skill?
I get them for 20%. Oh, no, I don't do them because I'm husky now.
What size? Yeah, because depending on your size will...
It's a plus 20% to price for trappings for me.
I don't know what husky is.
plus 10.
I'll take them at 7, thanks.
Well, that would be really nice for you, wouldn't it? However, some of us have got a business to run.
Well,
So-
I need to get a corpulent cloak and 2 husky cloaks.
I've got, I'm right.
Oh, have you? Oh, buggier then. We'll just get me. You want a cloak?
No, I've got a mantle.
I'll just get 2 cloaks then. Do you have a cloak?
I think so. I
Just
have
2
a cloak
cloaks.
already, Paul. The one that I pulled over myself as I left my house.
So you're buying 3?
I thought-
Three.
2.
2. So that will be a total of 16 silver sterling. Shilling. She said she doesn't want the brass pennies owing. So consider yourself to have a bargain there.
Okay.
Everyone can have an extra 15% to their language skill through Baius's tuition and your interaction with the locals. And as as Baius had suggested, that the more musical or embellished you make whatever you're saying can provide a greater benefit to you. Or if you somehow tie it in, like Joan tied it in with the cooking in the kitchen, and that made it easier to interact and have a more favourable outcome. So use those sort of ideas, give you a more favourable role.
At what rating are we kind of pretty much fluent?
Probably say 100%.
Okay.
How far off are you?
45%.
55.
55.
What?
We've had different bonuses. We haven't all got the same things as benefits to our skill.
Where did I miss out on 10% though?
I don't know. I read a book at one point.
Yeah, I was reading maps in the map shop.
So what were you?
Reading maps in the map shop. But I've only got 45%.
You didn't get a bonus for that, I don't think.
Okay.
I would suggest that this conversation be more musical.
I'm not singing. I'm the kid the music teacher told not to sing.
That's probably where that 10% went.
So, off on a big adventure. Any other last minute shopping?
I'm going to get myself some ice cream and eat it in front of Helmut.
I get Helmut some candy.
Oh, thank you.
I don't give it to him all at once, though.
One at
I'm
a
holding
time.
on to it. I'm going to get him 15 brass pennies worth of candy.
Oh,
That's a lot of candy.
you're my best friend now.
It sounds like you're going to be on a reward chart in a moment.
Is it one candy a penny? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
It's a gold star system, buddy.
Yeah, Scooby snacks.
I'll give him 1 week, one when I get back to the inn.
See, they do love you.
Mm.
And make sure he's got everything packed and that his clothes are on straight and his boots are tied
You're my
and
mother.
his hair's combed over nice and neat and presentable.
And suggesting he go to the toilet before you leave.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a long trip.
So this next travel part, there are 3 distinct roles. You have the guide who leads the way. You've got the scout who scouts up ahead and looks for trouble. And you have, even if you're like camping or for the night, you'd have the survivalist.
Yeah, I'll do survival.
So with the survivalist, if you find a really nice campsite, then it can aid in, not being detected during the night, or making a really nice camp to rest in so that you recover because you're not in the elements as much, or you've got more shelter or better food.
Baius is going to advocate that we travel during the night and camp during the day. It's much more adventuresome.
For you, maybe.
Don't the dangerous wolf beasts travel at night, though?
No. They're always out during the day.
It's a bluff roll or something.
Guile. Yeah.
What is it against?
If you wish to not believe him, it'd be maybe a scrutinize.
I'm going to scrutinise that.
Do you mind if I move that extra point of bargain into guile?
That's fine with me.
No good for me. I believe he's bullshit. Hear that? The monsters only travel during the day.
I don't believe him.
Okay, we need to know by how. What did you roll, Toby?
I rolled 23.
It doesn't matter because I failed.
Okay.
I mean, Rafe's not really sold, but he doesn't mind travelling at night. He's used to that, so...
Cool. See?
So you're traveling at night?
I guess we are. Although that evil grin on your face maybe says that's a bad idea.
Oh no, I just find it funny that it's sort of it's kind of
Dodgy.
but yeah, who cares?
We're all pretty dodgy in this party.
You don't know what his agenda is.
It's midday by now, wouldn't it be? Early afternoon.
Leave now.
It's sort of mid morning to lunch. So traveling at night, all in disagreement, say aye. Okay, it sounds like it's settled. They have acceded to your wishes, Baius. So you're just spending the afternoon at the inn or at Baius's house?
I'm going to go into the market and busk by yodeling.
Okay.
Are we not drawing attention to ourselves?
They don't know. they don't know me from anyone else.
Yeah, they're probably not going to come after you because it would be such an embarrassment to say that they're outwitted by a corpulent old woman. Won't say much for the local constabulary. Okay, well you go into the afternoon market and try your hand at yodeling again. You were quite good at it. It was just that cramp that got you last time.
Bit more relaxed today.
Very good. Well, let's have a. What are you going to sing about?
I'm going to sing about escaping noose.
Escape from noose?
Yeah.
Very well. And what is the the emotion you're trying to convey as you sing about escape from noose?
The fear and trepidation and excitement of it all.
Is it going to be conveyed very well through yodeling?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay, this has probably never been tried before, so there is who knows how it will end up. But let's I think that'll be a charm, unless you have a craft in singing or entertaining.
Not so much. More artistry in general.
Mm-hmm. You're going to bring your powers as an artisan baker to your singing repertoire?
Like a good pastry, yodeling needs good ingredients. Got the emotion from the escape and
Slitting someone's throat on the way.
Attempting.
Attempting.
And the skill of yodeling itself is probably something these people, besides my little attempt last night, these people wouldn't have heard. This is the fine crust that you lay on top.
Very good. Well, it's all in the mind. Let's see how it comes out in the production.
What's the difficulty rating?
Well, I think this is, judging from the reactions around the room, around I was going to say, yodeling to convey a sense of fear and terror, though many people probably experience that when they hear yodeling. So I was going to make it challenging or hard, but it might be more routine. I'm just going to have it standard because I don't know where this is going to go.
Okay. Not quite.
What do you mean not quite?
Not quite. I have a 65 and I rolled a 79.
Oh, surely that's a fate point.
That's your choice. It's your fate point.
Oh, yeah, I'll use one.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a critical success.
Oh, that was fortune well spent. What turned it around for you? When you're thinking about it, there was that moment, it seemed like it wasn't going anywhere, and then suddenly
The hopefulness of floating down the river
it all came together at the end.
at the end. Like taking a pie out of the oven, seeing all your ingredients.
Whilst you were singing, there were a lot of people standing back with their arms crossed, not buying it at first, but through your exuberance and your analogy of pastry making, you're able to bring it together and use yodeling to terrify, excite, and to calm, leaving them with smiles upon their face. And you're applauded.
I hold out my hands and see if anyone.
How much of a success was it?
It was a critical
Critical.
22.
22. So you earn yourself busking 18 brass pennies,
Woo!
which I believe is enough to live on in terms of trail rations.
Yes.
But word also spreads about this yodeling wonder, and you gain a reputation point. Likewise, Raphe, in terms of your endeavours with the CD World, it's kind of more tagged towards that group. You earn yourself 2 reputation points.
And what exactly does a reputation point do?
Well, reputation points is like a social currency. So, can I borrow a cup of sugar, or calling in a favour, or I need, the example in the manual is I need a suit of armour tomorrow, and no one's got a suit of armour, but if you've got enough social validity, then it will appear because people will do you favours, make things happen for you. And Baius, because you've lived here for so long, you can have some as well. You can have 3 reputation points. And another thing is that because, while we're giving out reputation points, because you helped the jailer, you will be looked upon favourably for that, even though you kind of escaped. You kind of like, which, they can forgive in the end. But everyone can have 5 reputation points. But you can't cash those 5 until you come back, because you haven't quite got them. But the other reputation points, you might be able to use to get melted ice cream one day.
Yay.
Very well. So you sort of occupy the rest of the day and night dawns.
Bye.